another review episode. In this episode, we will look into Mumbai Indians. I mean, what do anyone really say about this team? What, five times IPL champion, the most consistent team. Can I draw parallels to Man City and be like they start the season slow and then become snowball and become this avalanche? Then there is no they're going to end up being the juggernaut. There's no stopping them. And
Wow.
or how do we start this team out? Outside of that. Mm.
No, I mean that's actually a brilliant parallel that you've drawn. They are this all-star team, right? Where like they basically you look down that squad, you see international superstar after international superstar, and you're like is there anything that you have to even discuss? But honestly, having said that, with pretty much a similar team, they started off horribly last year. The year prior,
Yep.
obviously they finished in the bottom half of the division, but that was obviously before the major auction. So post the major auction, they've
Mhm.
done a reshuffle and all of that. But honestly, I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm lost for words to even criticize most things about them. But yeah, I mean, let's start with the playing 11 that we thought about, right? From post the auction. Do you see any changes coming into their team from what we thought?
I more than changes, I'm like, how do you what do I say, like how do anyone even break into this team? Like, they have a strong 11. They almost all of I mean, they have a very strong Indian core. Let's say that all of them
Yeah.
are starters for India, still playing for India. Half
Yeah.
of them, half the team, like 6 7 out of the playing 11 pick themselves. So we can hardly, doubt or question that they really, and even their sort of replacements, or I should say, like the players who would come in and swap, are also like pretty strong, domestic Indian players. um I I don't see a lot of difference, honestly. That said, I think they will start with Ryan Rickelton, see how it goes, and then maybe shift to Quinton de Kock. But Quinton de Kock has been, doing really great. I think,
Yeah.
even in the this game against New Zealand, he scored a 60 odd or so, if I remember it right. But he's been rediscovering his form,
Yes.
coming back out of retirement again. He's found some purple patch. So, and I would, go on and say that he didn't really do well when I sort of picked him, in our fantasy IPL team last year. Small gripe there. But that said, outside of, jokes apart, I they are contenders.
No
They
doubt.
are up there. They are the team to beat.
Yeah. The like play on words. He didn't really hit a purple patch because when he played in purple, he sucked. So like he's pretty much hit like a green blue patch, South Africa and hopefully
Nice
Mumbai.
wordplay.
But
Yeah.
honestly, their team looks so settled for the most part, as you rightly said. 7, 8 of them literally pick themselves. And honestly, the whole difference is going to be built around the three, right? Because there is no question about what the other seven do. It's whether
Yep.
those other 3 or 4 that you pick, they can actually make the differences. Like, it's a nice way for me to transition into their strengths and weaknesses. I would like to talk about one of their weaknesses, which is, I mean, it seems almost like a
Hey,
cliche.
hold
Yeah,
on.
yeah. Go on. What happened?
Do they really have a weakness? I'd be curious to know what it is. Like, come on.
Honestly, that is what I thought looking at the team. But, now recently with the kind of form and the kind of performances some of the players have gone in, it almost seems like a cliche because in the first two teams, RCB and Punjab, we pointed out to the spin department being the potential weakness. I'm going to call out the same here. The reason why I do that is Mayank Markande is now going to be their number one wicket taking spinner. Now
Spinner.
he's been in the IPL, in and around the IPL for a while, like probably half a decade, but he has never managed to nail himself a place in any team, for that matter, any team.
Hmm.
So, given that, when he returns to Mumbai and Wankhede, given the kind of tonking all the spinners got in the World Cup now, and a new player who hasn't nailed down a place, I don't know what kind of season he'll have. And the biggest question actually for me is a Mitch Santner. He was supposed to be one of the best, if not the best, left arm spinner, orthodox spinners in the world, where he could vary the pace, flight, speed, lengths, everything. But again, in the recently concluded World Cup, he got tonked. Like, and not just the World Cup, throughout the last year post the IPL, he's potentially gotten hit a lot by batsmen. So now I'm beginning to think whether, if at a ground like Wankhede, if he can't turn up, do they have a controlling spinner in the middle overs, or will Bumrah have to pretty much do everything for them? Middle, beginning, mid, like opening, death, everything. So I def and like the other alternative they have in terms of spinner is Allah Ghaznfar, who's a mystery spinner. But given the team 11 that we saw, where you have a Cobbin Bosch or Will Jacks, right? A Will Jacks has come in a brilliant form. So he could be that spinner. You never know. But
I was
with Will
gonna
Jacks
bring that
playing,
up. Yep.
Dickog playing, like Trent Bolt and potentially Corbin Bosch playing, I don't know whether Allah Ghaznfar plays. So yeah, I mean, I'm questioning that spin department, but yeah, I mean, and honestly, this is nitpicking this team, which is built up of juggernauts, right? I mean,
True.
now you get the glamorous task of picking the strengths of this team.
Man, I think you took on the tougher piece of the pie here, especially when it comes to Mumbai Indians. Um, yeah, true, dude. Like it's going to be so difficult to find any sort of weakness in this team. Yeah, and spin agreed is something they could suffer a bit. But then you towards the end you rightly also called out the fact that Will Jacks has
Yeah.
been turning up really well for England. I would build from there, and I would say that Will Jacks could be their bona fide finisher. That is what he was for England. So he has definitely sort of he's shaping or molding into that finisher really well, and can chip in with couple of overs of spin. So he's going to be handy. Sticking on the line of finishing, Sherfin Rutherford, uh, I would say is a steal. Like they were very shrewd to get him in trade, before the auctions,
Yep.
and he's been in good form for West Indies, being able to like finish up games. He's going to be a strong finisher as well, depending on whom they choose and decide to play between Sherfin Rutherford and Will Jacks. Likely, Will Jacks might get the nod because of his bowling option. So he's there. And then, of course, they have Pandya, and Tilak Verma has also proven to be like a
Yep.
good finisher in the recent games. So,
You're missing Namandir
um,
because he's been a great finisher for them as
oh
well.
my God, yep, Namandir as well. So, uh, well balanced team. Very difficult to pick pick a weakness per se. If at the expense of getting some hate comments, I'd probably call out which Rohit Sharma is going to turn up already. Although I think that he's becoming leaner and fitter, he's nothing to prove. I think he's just going to come in and have a blast of a season overall. So man, and how did we miss? Uh, how do you say the only bowling superstar of this era, Jasprit Bumrah? Come on, man. I don't know. I think that's the mic drop moment or statement of the whole talk.
Yeah. No,
There can be
honestly,
no one.
when you were gonna speak about strengths, I thought you were just gonna say Jasprit Bumrah and move on, because he is the one biggest strength that this team has, which nobody else has. Honestly.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely, absolutely. No two doubts about it. After having said that, I might take one hit or one pass at calling out a weakness. Potentially, I would say form and fitness of Deepak Chahar could be questionable given Mumbai were very lucky to keep him fit the
Fit.
entire season last season, and he really came good for them. Of course, on a spirit of watching good games, I would definitely say you would want him to be fit and play all games. But his fitness, his availability could then sort of shape up the dynamics of the team, because they were easily able to start with Trent Bolt and Deepak Chahar up front, and then use Bumrah as that middle over, death over controlling
Yeah.
bowler. So it remains to be seen how that pans out. But then to counter argue my own statement, I would say that they have Hardik Pandya, who has shown to be an excellent new ball bowler in in the recent past. So man, it's futile to pick any weakness in this team. Let's just
Yeah,
let's
no,
just
honestly, this team is like, as you rightly like beautifully argued, right? They have a potential weakness, and immediately in the same statement you see a potential mitigation in the team for that weakness. Like they've pretty
yep.
much picked that squad that way. It's wonderful. Yeah, I mean, do we even have to ask the chances of playoffs?
Man, they yeah, I'm there's yeah, no jackpot for guessing. I probably put them first, and likely the first team to be mm, sort of get qualified for the playoffs.
Yeah.
Um, very high chances. I don't know how it's difficult to quantify. 80% above, they definitely are going to be there, comfortably,
No, honestly, yeah. I
or
mean,
should
me
be
too.
there.
Me too. Right. The fact that Bumrah is fit and firing and probably in one of the best forms of his life at the beginning of the tournament. You have Sky coming off
Hmm.
a World Cup win. You have Rohit Sharma who's hungry to score runs. You have a Decock slash Rickleton who are in form. Tilak Verma again. Tilak and Hardik again like won the World Cup for India. Played those stellar hands in the team. I mean, Will Jacks coming off a potential player of the tournament like performance in the World Cup. Like
Nominee,
what
yep.
is there to miss out in this team, right? So yeah, absolutely. I think they are a nailed on top two team. I'll be I think that will be the shock of the year so far if they don't manage to make it into the top four, top two,
Fair.
honestly. But yeah, now I want to pick like a star, like a standout player who's coming of age.
Star player. Hmm.
Honestly, there are only a couple of players in this team whom you could think are unproven stars because pretty much everybody is an international. But just for the heck of it, I would still want to pick a Namandhir because honestly, I feel like in the last 2 years, he has been performing those one or two innings of big substance where he scores a 60 of 20 kind of innings, but then I feel he hasn't gotten that limelight or that stardom yet. But playing with Punjab, playing with India A as well as the other tours, he has shown himself to be like a big player, a great finisher, a great hitter in the team. So I would definitely
Yep.
bank on him to be that difference maker in the next gen of Indian cricketers that are coming in. So yeah, Namandhir for me. Yeah,
Yep, great shout out. I would say you're likely going on the lines of truly uncapped, underappreciated
yeah,
players. Great call out, great shout out. I was conflictive about whom to pick. I had a name in mind, but then as I just did like 5 minutes ago, counter argued and sort of withdrew my own pick. I'm gonna go with Ryan Rickerton.
yeah,
He is definitely he needs to stand out here. Let's start there.
yeah. That's a good.
He is definitely not the young kid in the block. He's I think in late 20s. He absolutely idealizes Quentin de Kock,
Quinton de
whom is
Kock.
going to have the good fortune to play with again in this team. And also, I think this season has to be his breakout season where he sort of breaks out of the shadow of QDK and establishes himself as the sort of go-to wicketkeeper batter in the team. I can draw parallels in his batting style as well to Quinton de Kock.
Yeah,
So I would really want him to sort of go and establish himself. Mumbai did start with him last year. I think they are likely going to start with him again this year. And if they do, I really hope that he sort of gets on to and gives them great start that he could is potentially capable of doing.
yeah. I mean, absolutely. That's a good shout out because yeah, I mean, I think your first line sort of summed it up. He needs a good year. Like I think that's probably where it'll go. Yeah, I mean, I think with that we've pretty much covered Mumbai. Do you have any closing thoughts before yeah we call it done?
Um, yeah, no closing thoughts, dude. I mean, they're going to be. the Mumbai Pultons that they are. They're going to be the juggernaut. I think the bigger question is who is the team that is going to pose threat to this team and sort of can stop them. Of course, any team on there they can do it, but for some team to sort of tactically outclass them, that needs some showing. So my question or closing thoughts on Mumbai would be who's the team that would really give them the fight or run for money.
Yeah, that's actually a good thought to leave the viewers, listeners on. Then maybe they can comment if they see some team with that capability. But yeah, I mean we'll see you again for the fourth team in this series of IPL previews, right?
Absolutely. Thanks for joining.
Thank you. Bye bye.